Hey guys, what's going on? This is Deadly, and we're finally playing some Escape from Tarkov. It's been far too long, man. We've been talking about this game for a very long time on the channel, and I finally get to share this game with you guys. And I've been loving this game for months, and this is the first time I've been able to make videos for it. So let's get started. I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit around Tarkov, kind of getting into a game, building your character, talking a little bit about the trading, and just the features that are currently in the game right now. And there's so much that hasn't been announced, and there's a lot that isn't currently in the game that we won't touch on too much. I'll just give everything that you guys need to know if you want to get into the game right now. So we're currently at the start screen, and we have three options. We can jump right into a match. We can customize our character and take a look at our stash, and we can trade with some of the local traders. So the first thing that you should probably always do is poke around your character inventory. Now, keep in mind, if you're a little OCD, you might have some problems here. I'm sorry, man. Listen, I promise, I'm going to clean up this stash. It's an absolute mess. But when you first start the game, you'll get like a backpack, some money, a couple pistols, and things like that. My recommendation is to try not to lose too much, so don't take your tri-zip in, don't take any of the backpacks in, and maybe do a couple rounds without even taking a gun in, so you can just kind of get a feel for what the game is actually like. And to do so, there is an offline mode that you can play where you won't lose any gear at all, so you can like test out different weapons and supplies and all sorts of different stuff. And eventually, well, I've been selling a lot of stuff. I've been going through my weapons. I got a lot of junk here that I got to get rid of. But I actually did sell quite a bit of stuff today, including a few defenders. So I've been having a pretty good day of Tarkov, to say the least, for those that know a little bit about the game. But primarily, this is where you want to set up everything: your body armor, your helmets, your weapons, your tactical rigs, everything like that. Before you go into a game, this is the screen where you're going to be. And eventually, but not currently, this is also where you're going to be managing your character's health, food, water, radiation level, poisoning, and things like that, because this will persist game after game until your character dies, of course. So things like that's where you're going to be managing all in this character screen. And soft skills. We don't know too much about soft skills yet, but they will be coming very soon. So it would be really interesting to see how that has an effect on the game. And if you have maps, you can take a look at some of the area maps as well to gain better knowledge of where you're going to be playing. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to bring in like a gun. You know, I'm just going to have a gun on my character, and we're probably going to go into an offline match. And you can also take a look at some of these traders as well. You have multiple different types of traders. You got Pavel, the Propor. He's basically your weapons guy. He's going to be selling you your AKs, your ammunition, some optics. And if you want to buy like AS Vals and sniper rifles and M4s, you're going to be getting it from this guy. You have your therapist, and she sells you medical supplies. And you have Fence. Next, you have Fence, and he's more of like a global open market. If you sell items to Fence, he's going to charge an absolute terrible bargain. He's going to charge an absolute terrible price for pretty much everything that you can sell to this guy. The good thing is about Fence is you can sell everything to him. He will accept everything, but at a significant reduced price. But some of the interesting things about this guy is you can do specialized trades. Like, for example, trading 5 packs of cigarettes for this medical kit, some screws and some bolts for hand grenades, and different threaded barrels and items require special things in order to purchase them. So not everything you can buy with money. You do have to do some scavenging if you want a particular piece of gear that you just can't find. Each trader has 3 loyalty levels. Currently, I believe there will be more loyalty levels, and there will be different types of traders and different requirements to get those loyalty levels up. But essentially, all loyalty level is the more you spend, the higher rank that you'll be able to unlock, and the more unique items that you'll have. For example, this defender armor here and this soft armor, these items are not available to a new player. You have to spend some time and sell some items and buy items from Pusher before he will allow you to buy those equipment pieces. And that's going to be a staple for this trading system. As you can see, there's like a little 3 icon. So I'm 2 with Propor, I'm 3 with Pusher, and with a therapist and Fence, I'm still kind of working that out a little bit. Eventually down the road, there will be flea markets and auction houses. Of course, they're just not implemented into the game just yet. So we have our guns. We selected some supplies. The way you empty and load ammo is the exact same way as DayZ Standalone. So if you have experience playing DayZ Standalone, then this game is going to come pretty natural to you. If you don't have much experience in that game, then it might take a little bit. If you're used to more traditional shooters, there is a bit of a learning curve. But trust me, games like this are always rewarding. So, but if you're watching my channel, you probably play some DayZ before. So you got your gun, or you just run around with a knife, and you're going to be jumping into your first game. I highly recommend the factory. It's the smallest map. It's the tightest of the Tarkov maps. It's the fastest. Like, you're going to run into players more often. You're going to run into AI, very frequent here. There are quick matches, 3 basic escapes, and a decent amount of loot. So it's just a natural, great first choice. And like I said, for new players to learn how to engage the enemy AI called scavs, and also to learn the map and how to escape, I recommend going into offline mode, because if you die, you won't lose any of your supplies at start, but if you collect any supplies in the raid, you also can't take them out. So this is just a neutral playground where it's just you, and you can just mess around and learn the mechanics and test out how the game actually functions before you go up against real players where there's real stakes, and it's just like in survival MMOs and DayZ. You die, you lose all your stuff unless a buddy can loot some of it and escape. But for the most part, it's very difficult to do that sometimes. So the gear that you bring in, you know, will just be on your corpse when you die, and you'll just have to collect more stuff from your stash. So for those that are looking to, everyone always tries to relate different video games, but it is very much, it's probably the closest game to DayZ Standalone's PvP style, but just condensed and instance-based. So this is the factory. The factory has a number of exits, and we have a lot of callouts, but I'm going to be doing some callouts a different time because this is just a beginner guide. So your primary objective is to loot and kill scavengers and escape, essentially, from the zone. So we're just going to kind of simulate that. There's a number of these little green crates that are spread out around the entire map. I will be making like videos showcasing every single location and loot paths and things like that for you guys who are new to the game. But this is just, you know, baby steps, guys, baby steps. We're going to just kind of take a look at this dorm room. We're going to start working our way up the stairs. We're using our beautiful AS Val, but it's not the best gun choice for a map like this, I can't assure you. In fact, our mag isn't even loaded all the way. We'll throw a fresh magazine in there. If you guys are fans of Splinter Cell, yep, you can shoot the lights out if you want. And like, you know, doors will eventually have the ability, if you have flashbangs on you, bang and clear, flash and clear, knock, and even move in. So if you have friends at the door and you want to like make sure that they are, you know, your friends, you can actually knock before you actually decide to breach. There are doors that you cannot open. This does not have a doorknob. Someone busted it off. So you can kick it open. Not every door you can breach, but some of them you can. Some you can try. Some require keys. For example, this door here requires a factory key. And you can run in here and we can take a look and scavenge for some supplies. You're probably wondering, is it really this dark or is it just the video? This game is a very dark game. So you can't turn your gamma up in the settings, but if you wanted to, you could probably figure out a way to increase your gamma. But part of the reason why I like this game so much is the vibe and the tone, and it's you know, increasing the gamma sort of ruins that for me sometimes, but that's okay. So we're just kind of going around. We're collecting some attachments. This is actually worth a lot of money. You know, looting through some safes and things like that. We're collecting some supplies. We do have this gamma container. Anything we throw in this gamma container, when we die, we get to keep. So that's why I have my key in there. I have like a medical bag. I got some extra ammunition. If shit was really hitting the fan and this was a real game, I would drag the NVGs into the gamma container. You know, if it wasn't nighttime, I wouldn't even bring them in if it wasn't nighttime, but you get the idea. I'm actually surprised that we haven't run into any scavs yet. Speak of the devil. So, scavs. They can be very deadly to those who don't know how to deal with them. They are very, they're not the greatest, but they're not the worst. They can be aimbot. They can shoot you in the head if you don't have the right protection. They're pretty intelligent, as you can see. But if you get some armor like me, and you kind of know their weaknesses, they're not that difficult to deal with. So we're going to use this AS Val here. And the only reason why I'm not bleeding right now is simply because I have this armor on. Got a guy directly below me here. Yeah, you can yell. There's a yell button. And depending on what faction you choose, the USEC, you have English insults if you're Russian. If you choose the Bear faction, you have, Russian insults. This guy's got a nice little flashlight here. And we're gonna flip the FAL to, or the AS Val to, oh shit, there's actually a couple of them together. Just kind of go on hip fire mode here. Where'd you go? Alright, so we just killed a couple of scavengers. Not real players, but just scavs. They will roam around the map. Looks like I did a poor job of making sure I keep my magazines good and intact, but that's okay. We didn't have space in our tactical rig, so we dropped our magazines when we're on the fly there. So we got some dead bodies here, and just like in DayZ Standalone or other survival MMOs, you can loot them. You can search their pockets. You can't just see exactly what's in their pockets, or you have to actually search through them pocket by pocket, which is a really interesting take on the loot system. I kind of like it. Like some of the initial supplies, like the obvious ones, like the vests, like the pistols that are in the hand, they're there because obviously you can see them, but you really have to actually check all the rigs and all the pockets if you want to loot. So it encourages you to sort of sit back and think more tactically before you just jump down directly into the fray and start killing people. A lot of people forgot, like a lot of people I think don't even know there's a scroll wheel here when they first start the game, so just make sure you scroll down. That's where all the juicy loot's gonna be. And you can also put tactical rigs inside of your backpacks and things like that. Okay, so now that we've killed a couple people, we want to escape. On the factory there are 3 escapes. And for the sake of this video, I will show you all 3 because it is the most important thing. So we call this start room, and we are going to be moving into this area here. Where if you play offline, this is where I spawned in, right in this room here. We call this start ramp. If I have the factory key, I can unlock this door, and we can escape through standing next to this green light. But if we didn't have a key, there's actually another escape for a key. I'll show you guys that in just a second. With the magic of YouTube, now the second key to exit is in what Aces and I call room 3, or some people call it the escape room. And you want to go to where the players spawn, which is at this back wall. We call it the machinery room because when you open up the door here, you'll have a lot of machinery. Just kind of different, variable, different vehicles and things like that. Under the stairs here, there is a door, and this door can be unlocked. I know it's very hard to see, but you can unlock this door, and you can escape down this hallway and leave. And the last one, and in my opinion the most important one, oh, hold up. Now, rudely interrupted me, Scav. Rudely. Trying to do some YouTube videos here, man. Jesus. So rude. Rude of them, man. Okay. And the most important exit for the factory, and the one that you are going to be accustomed to a lot until you get your key, is the non-keyed exit, which is in the final room, room 3. We call it exit room. And the thing about this that kind of sucks is you can't breach it, so you have to kind of slowly open it. There are players that like to camp this a little bit, but you know, I don't run into them that often. I don't even really remember if I've been killed escaping here. But you don't need any key or any shenanigans, and this is the only regular escape and regular extraction in the factory. So you wait a few seconds, and boom, you got some supplies. I would spend a decent amount of time playing each map offline mode, kind of finding out where the escape zones are, find out where some of the green crates are, and then jump in. But for the most part, that's essentially the game. You take your items that you looted, for instance, because we were in offline mode, we didn't have them, throw them into your stash, sell them on the market, get some more money, buy some more guns, level up the traders, and rinse and repeat. So I know for a lot of people, you're probably wondering, hey, let's see you kill some players. And you know what? Let's make it happen. Over the next couple of days, I'm going to be showing you guys some awesome gunfights that I've been having with Escape from Tarkov from the live stream. And I think you guys are going to be really enjoying them. Just remember, it's high stakes, just like in DayZ Standalone. When you die, that's it. You lose it, and that can be difficult. If you have a lot of bad luck, you can drain your money and your stash very quickly if you're not if you don't pay attention to it. So this game, you know, we do have a massive stash, and as you can see, I do have a large variety of guns. And like I said, I've sold over half of my guns that I had just because I had to make some space. But you know, even still, you know, that is all you have. So limited resources and limited supplies that you do have to loot yourself in game, which I find is pretty valuable. And you can convert that into currency and do whatever you want. But still, this is a looting game. This is a survival game, and I think for the genre, it's very different. But I'm really excited to see where Escape from Tarkov is going to be going in the future, and I'm very excited to continue creating content for that. So my recommendation, new players, I'll end with this. Start getting used to the maps. Once you feel comfortable, bring a pistol in and try to kill some players. I will be making a little bit more help guides for PvP and how to engage players, where the spawns of players are on the factory and things like that in the future. Until then, guys, I'm going to be doing a 12-hour stream March 24th, and we're going to be giving away a couple copies of Escape from Tarkov. You can click the link in the description box below to go to my Twitch page. I should be live tomorrow morning at 9 or 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, you can go there, learn some more about the game, and maybe get a chance to even play it tomorrow. Who knows? We'll have to see. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you next time during the live streams and here on the YouTube channel.